Hey everyone, welcome back to Low Luxury, the channel where I show you what authentic luxury clothing and streetwear looks like. And today we're going to be taking a look at a sick sweater from the brand GCDS. Oh, that's a big boy. That's a crunchy boy. You hear that? Probably can't even hear me talking right now because of that. I'm just gonna, oh yeah, crinkly, huh? Oh. Anyway, geez, I gotta stop crinkling this thing or you won't be able to hear me. GCDS, or God Can't Destroy Streetwear, which has got to be one of the worst names for a company ever. But the thing is, the clothes are good. I can't help myself. The clothes are good. They make kind of streetwear inspired stuff, and honestly, not even streetwear all the time. Almost classic sportswear. Like imagine if Tom Brown with those 4 bars and stuff, if he did streetwear, sportswear type stuff. It's actually really cool. So we're gonna check this thing out. Let's get into it. But first, I've looked into it and a very, very small percentage of you are actually subscribed to the channel. It's completely free. Just press that button and you will not regret it. Thank you so much. All right, let's start by taking a look at this bag. And I was not lying when I said it is a big boy. This thing is absolutely massive. So it is 20 inches tall by about like 14.5 inches wide across that way. Like that is massive. And as you can already see, it is, you know, clear on the front, but then right here in black, you've got GCDS. That's their logo print, very like college varsity print typeface. And then you've got these 2 red lines going across the bottom. That's really like a brand staple for them. And you can see that it is kind of like translucent, like you can still see through those lines. Now, the back side of this thing is just completely silver. As you can see, you can't see through it at all. It's just reflective silver. And then up at the top here, you've just got your typical kind of Ziploc bag style. So let's open this thing up and see what we got here. I already see a bad word. Alrighty. Oh my gosh, what is it with this language and with the clothes you wear, they have swear words on them? Anyway, let's look at this thing. All right, there she is, GCDS, fuck, some cherries, some hearts. It's a very charming little piece there. But before we get too deep into that, we gotta take a look at the retail tags that come with the piece. So the first thing you get here is a rubber like hang tag. It's very similar to off-white hang tags, but even thicker. Like you can see the thickness here. It's very kind of floppy, you know? And then sticking out of it, you get these 2 red lines down here. And those are super close together. You can see they do end just before the edge here. You can see some white there. And then you've got the GCDS logo print right here. And these letters, they pop out of this thing. Like you can really, really feel them. And then underneath, popping out way less, like I'll turn this to the side, you can see these letters here and how big they are. The Made in Italy, it still pops out, but not nearly as much. But that's red, all in caps, the same red as these lines underneath. And the back of that is like a glossy white. So this one's a matte white, this one much smoother and shinier. And then under that we get like a kind of slightly see-through, like gray piece of plastic paper. Again, really similar to some of the stuff that comes with the off-white hang tags. You get a little silver GCDS band right there. You can see that a little bit better there, and that's on like both sides of this. Really interesting stuff. And this is talking about the craftsmanship and how it's made in Italy, all this good stuff. Just saying, you got a real fine piece here, you know, and that's in a few languages there. And then the last one here is just a white piece of cardstock, and that's about the Serta logo. You again have this silver kind of sticker on there going across both sides. Really interesting stuff, but this is just kind of talking about the Serta logo thing and how to check that. And then on the back of that, we get the retailer sticker. So up here, you get the model number, and that should match everywhere we see it. Colorway, black, size, medium, and a barcode. So a super simple sticker overall. And then these are all strung together with a really hefty kind of metal key ring here. I've been quite impressed with this tag here. That's got to cost a few extra buckaroonies on each piece here. And then they go to this red and white kind of woven string here, up through just a simple silver safety pin through the brand tag at the back of the neck. Speaking of which, let's take a look at that brand tag at the back of the neck. So this is a fairly thick kind of matte white piece with black and red stitching. As you can see, it's that same logo print. It matches everywhere we see it with those 2 red lines going across underneath. And that's stitched in with a single white stitch in the top right and top left there. And then on the back of that, you get Made in Italy, all caps, and then their website, gcdswear.com, and again, those two red lines. And this is actually like a folded over tag here. So you can see that, you can see the inside, it's black. So then put them together and you get that guy right there. Next, let's take a look at the care tags inside the sweater. So these would be on your left side if you were wearing the piece, and they're stitched in there with a nice single black stitch going down there right into that side seam. And the first thing you get here is an embroidered tag, which is like a matte white, and then in black you get the logo up top, and then you get that Serta logo. So the single best way to tell real versus fake on a GCDS piece is to scan the QR code that is under my thumb right here. It doesn't get better than that. If they say it's legit, it's probably legit. On the back side of that, you can see the inverse colors there, white on black. And then you get kind of a plasticky, rough, matte white tag here, a single loop tag, and you've got a bit of space there. And then you get that GCDS logo print, and then the model number, which matches what was on that sticker on the tag. Always make sure that stuff matches. Then you get the fabrication. So this is mostly wool and a little bit of acrylic, so pretty expected fabrics there. Then you get the Made in Italy in a few languages. That's all caps there. Then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 washing symbols. On the other side of the fold there, you get a ton of washing instructions, as you can see, all kind of jumbled together in a bunch of different languages, all center justified it looks like. Then you get the EAC and the company address and info and stuff, and that's all you get for the care tags. Pretty simple overall. Now it's time to take a look at the unique details of this piece. Oh boy, here we go. So the first thing you might notice is that this is a fat boy. It's a big boy, just like the bag. The bag was big and the sweater itself is big too. So this is tagged a medium, but oh, it's way bigger than that, let me tell you. So we are looking at about a 26.5-inch pit-to-pit measurement, which in normal clothing, that would be like a, I don't know, 2, 3XL maybe, something like that. But GCDS, you know, they're going with that classic streetwear. They're going mad oversized. They do it right. So you get a nice thick double layer ribbed crew neck collar here. And then the cuffs right here. And the hems are a single layer rib. And all this patterning here is just a nice simple knit in there. You can see kind of each stitch. It's a pretty thick knit, I've got to say. Like, each of those stitches is visible. You can see kind of each piece of the yarn that they use. So it's a big boy in more ways than one. I find the design to be super aesthetically pleasing. You've just got these kind of 4 hearts off in the corners, and then just around these cherries you've got GCDS fuck. Like, why not? Why not? It's rude, but it's cool at the same time. You can see that these sleeves here are like funnels. Like, they're huge at the shoulders here, and then they just kind of taper down to the wrist right there. The stitching is nice and clean and straight. You can see it follow down there. There's nothing visible, nothing wonky. It's all pretty solid. It follows essentially like this 1 or 2 stitches here, these 1 or 2 knits. It doesn't really go all over the place. It could be straighter, but it's pretty damn good. And I really like how you can see under the neck here how they've reinforced this collar here with these kind of horizontal knits going across there. And then this right here is what the inside of the piece looks like. It is a nice lime green here. And then that is how they create the lettering and stuff like that. It's really intricate, but interesting work. I just find it really cool seeing the insides of pieces like this and understanding how they make those patterns and designs with that kind of knit jacquard. It's so, so cool. And, you know, it's really well done. I think I've seen people kind of question GCDS and if it's worth it and if it's actually good clothing. Based on this piece, I'm pretty impressed with the craftsmanship for sure. So now that we've checked all of that out, let's try this piece on to see how it feels and see how it fits. Wow, what a crazy, crazy sweater this is. Not in the design, it's a fairly simple design, but at the same time, pretty kind of rebellious. You can't wear it everywhere unless you don't give a fuck, which I guess is also fine. But I'm actually talking more about the craziness of the feel and the fit of it. So let's talk about the feel first. I have never felt wool that felt like this solid. So there is zero, and I mean zero, scratchiness to this wool. This is the first time that I wouldn't have been able to identify that the piece was wool. If you just handed me the sweater and said, what is this made out of? I probably would have guessed cotton, because it doesn't feel like wool. It feels way more solid. So props to them for getting any traces of scratchiness out of pure wool. Well, some acrylic, not pure, sorry. So that point is interesting just to start with. But then, as you can see, the fit is absolutely bonkers. It's crazy oversized, like at least three sizes, let's say 3 sizes oversized. So if you're worried, like definitely size down on a piece like this from them if you're looking for something more true to size. But I usually trust brands. I say if it's supposed to be oversized, then that's how I'll wear it. And interestingly with this one, it's really the body that is oversized. The chest, the shoulders, things like that, the sort of biceps, all got tons of room. But then where the it falls as far as length goes is actually pretty standard, and same with the sleeves. So it's a very considered oversized fit. Like it's not coming down off my hands, it's not coming down to my knees. It's really more in the body and chest and shoulders that it's oversized, but that's it. So I find that very interesting, and I just think it's a really, really cool, unique piece. So that is how you tell the difference between real and fake GCDS clothing. Take a look at the other video on screen here, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time.